This is what happens when you aren't careful with glue guns. I'm not responsible if you guys hurt yourselves.
Greetings, YouTube.
Guten Tag, furries.
Trolls? You don't get a greeting.
Anywho, as you can probably tell, I've been working very hard on my mask. I wanted an overall very nice look, follow me eyes, a moving jaw, and about 80% less hot. I'm feeling generous enough to show you guys how I did it. Well, briefly that is.
And you may be thinking, Sasha, how do you do this? Fur is hot no matter what.
Well, I have the answer to that question. I did all the research so you don't have to. I wanted to create the best possible design with less hot and still at a fairly cheap price to construct it. Now, I don't know about you, but there's nothing less attractive than a sweaty, gross, nasty, foam fursuit head.
So here's what I did after the research. I based my design after Griffin's How to Make an Articulated Werewolf Mask here on the tube of you. I'll put a link in the crotch bar for you guys. And I figured since my persona has a long muzzle, this technique would work perfectly. So here's what I did. I took masquerade mask. You can get these at the craft store, fairly cheap. I got mine in a pack of 3. You need construction paper. You can use printer paper if you want, but construction paper is a lot more tough and it just works better. And stretchy string.
Elastic if you're feeling daring. You'll need it at some point anyway.
Before you start working on your muzzle, I recommend that you cut your eye holes in your masquerade mask so they fit your face. I'll start with the upper jaw. It's like a weird rectangle with a W cut in it, and then the outer tabs fold in. They kind of curl inwards to create a split lip, and then this goes in here, and it'll hold your muzzle together. And for now, just tape it right on your mask. It's just paper for now. You can mess around with it when you get your lower jaw finished. And here's the lower jaw. Very simple. Make sure that these are curved. It's very important that they're curved. And then punch a hole here and here. Attach your stretchy string so it goes over your head. And then this will fold up like so. You can just tape it for now. Mess around with your mask. Go ahead, lip sync. You know you want to. Make sure that your mask is working perfectly. I know I had this many prototypes before I finally got my mask to work correctly. This mask should fit your face and your face perfectly. Next, you'll need some plastic canvas. Take your masquerade mask, put it on your face, measure from one end of the mask all the way around your head to the other. Now, cut this out of about 1 inch plastic canvas, about 1 inch thick, and then attach it to your mask. You may have to lace it together depending on how big or small your head is or how big of a sheet of plastic canvas you get. And then once you get that done, you put it back on and you measure across your head this way, and you cut that out of 1 inch plastic canvas strip, and you lace that on. And at this point you can remove the silly elastic that came with your masquerade mask. Now that you made it this far and you've worked with your paper muzzle and everything works just fine, everything's hunky-dory, and it's just the way you want it to be, cut out your patterns out of foamy sheets, hot glue them together, and temporarily tape them to your mask, because once you hot glue them to your mask, there's no going back. So unless you're 100% sure that's where you want them and that's how you want them, just tape it on. And congratulations! If you made it this far, your mask should look like a giant big tape wad. Yeah. But don't worry, it'll look much better when you finish. Now at this point, you can cut out your cheeks out of high density foam. Green is the good stuff. The white is crap. If you notice the very front of your mask will be quite bare and empty, well, we're gonna fix that. What you do is you take a thin, lightweight material. I use a nice soft denim for mine. And you cut out the pattern roughly, just like slap it on there and kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you'll hot glue one panel to the very front here on your mask, and then you'll hand sew the rest of it to the plastic canvas on the other side. And at this point you can cut out your ears however you wish. I use the plastic canvas for my cartilage for my ears. And you can put your cheeks on your mask, you hot glue them to the muzzle, and you can hand sew them to the canvas on the side, or however you want to do it. Doesn't matter. So there you go. That's how I made my mask with 80% less hot, still 100% satisfactory results. You can't go wrong with that, now can you? Now, as I order the fur for my mask and the rest of my fursuit,
I may do a secondary video on how I did all the furrying and all the sewing and all that fun jazz. And I'll see how I'm feeling about that when I get to that point.
If you have any questions, leave me a comment down in the comment section. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Go ahead, have fun with this, build awesome fursuit heads, and I ask that if you use my technique, at least mention it, but I know you're not going to, or at least most of you, but at least I tried, right?
Roll the developmental slideshow, be looking like a dork, struggle and learning. I hope this was useful, I hope you have fun, and remember, be very careful when using hot glue.